Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a blessed Sunday. And in the news this morning, Avalanche and the Tough Man listed as the persons of interest in St. Catherine. The St. Catherine police have named the 10 persons of interest in various crimes, urging them to turn themselves in by 6 p.m. Saturday. Cops say the men are being sought in relation to a number of serious crimes committed in Spanish Town, and the police believe they may be able to assist investigators. Several of the men are known only by their aliases. The list includes Chris of Shelter Rock Backlands, Sanjay Smith, otherwise called the Shartman Bro of Shelter Rock, Prince Flemings, otherwise called Avalanche of Jones Avenue, Malachi McLean, otherwise called the Cripple of Lakes Pen, Draco of Lakes Pen or Lime Tree Grove, Zoom of Backlands, Becky of Shelter Rock Backlands, Denzel Hayes, otherwise called the Tough Man, Fabian Wright, otherwise called Ronnie, and the Shaquille Batik. Anyone with information that can assist the police in locating these individuals is also being asked to contact the Spanish Town Police at 876-984-2305, the 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Policeman falls from roof, breaks a wrist during Denham Town operation. A policeman assigned to the Area 4 Fugitive Apprehension Team has been hospitalized following injuries sustained during a targeted operation in Denham Town on Thursday. Reports are that about 5:30 p.m., the corporal was conducting operations along Tulip Lane in Denham Town when he fell from a roof, breaking his right wrist and sustaining facial injuries. He was assisted to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was admitted for treatment. 34 killed in 29 fatal crashes in June, says ITA. 34 persons have been killed in 29 fatal crashes in the month of June, according to the Island Traffic Authority. Fatalities increased by 31% when compared to June 2024, while fatal crashes were up 26% during the reporting period, the authority said in its latest statistics released on Friday, July 11. With 6 fatalities each, the parishes of St. James, Clarendon, and St. Catherine accounted for more than 50% of the road deaths during the month. St. Elizabeth recorded 5 deaths, while St. Anne and St. Mary each had 2. There were 2 fatalities each recorded in Westmoreland and St. Andrew, while Hanover had 1. The safest parishes for road users during the month of June were Kingston, Portland, St. Thomas, and Trelawney, which recorded no deaths as a result of motor vehicle crashes. Meanwhile, the ITA said private motor vehicle drivers accounted for 29%, or 10 fatalities in June 2025. Private motor vehicle driver fatalities increased by 43% when compared to June 2024. The statistics show that private motor vehicle passengers accounted for 24%, or 8 fatalities during the month. Private motor vehicle passenger fatalities have increased by 100%, or 4, when compared to June 2024. The ITA said pedestrians accounted for 18%, or 6 fatalities during June. Pedestrian fatalities were up 100% when compared to June 2024. Regarding motorcyclists, 6 were killed in June, representing 18% of the fatalities recorded during the month. Motorcyclist fatalities have decreased by 14%, or 1, when compared to June 2024. Overall, 199 road users have been killed in 174 fatal crashes since the start of the year. Fatalities decreased by 3% when compared to prior year, while fatal crashes are down by 3% when compared with a similar period in 2024. Motorcyclists account for 53 or 27% of fatalities since the start of the year. Private motor vehicle drivers account for 41 or 21%, pedestrians account for 39 or 20%, Private motor vehicle passengers account for 31 or 16%, pedal cyclists account for 11 or 6%, and the pillion passengers account for 10 fatalities or 5%. According to the statistics, males account for 85% and the females 15% of the fatalities since the start of the year. Jamaicans rushing to apply before mandatory fee takes effect. More Jamaicans are reaching out to travel agents with inquiries and for appointment bookings as they scramble to apply for a United States non-immigrant visa ahead of a newly announced fee hike set for next year. However, this does not appear to extend to those Jamaicans who were recently denied U.S. visas because some of them say they are not in no rush to reapply. The apparent frenzy follows the news that the United States government will introduce a mandatory U.S. $250 fee in addition to the existing U.S. $185 application fee for approved non-immigrant visa applicants, including those seeking visitor, student, and worker visas. The increase is part of the newly signed Big Beautiful Bill. The new charge, dubbed the integrity fee, will function as a type of security deposit. It is refundable after the expiration of the non-immigrant visa's period of validity, only if a visa holder adheres to the terms of the visa, do not overstay or violate their status, and departs the U.S. within the allowed time frame. The fee is expected to increase annually, adjusted for inflation. Travel agent Samoya Mattis, CEO of Happy Start Travel, and Tavar Samuels, CEO of Expedite Travel Services, say their phone lines have been ringing non-stop since the announcement. Inquiries have also flooded their social media platforms, with anxious applicants trying to secure U.S. visa interview dates before the new fees are implemented. I don't have an exact number, but we do have quite a few inquiries where people definitely say, I want my application to be submitted before the fee takes effect. But we do have a lot of applications that we're working on, and it doesn't seem to have fazed anybody at all. They just now know that if it comes into effect before you go to the embassy, you're going to have to pay, Mattis told the news. She shared that since 2019, her company has helped approximately 2,000 applicants annually from Jamaica and the Caribbean apply for visas for different countries, with those applying for U.S. visas among the majority. At this moment, while talking to you, we have 108 processing applications, and this is for the U.S., she said last Thursday. She said too that her company typically has an approval rate of 94% and does not anticipate the upcoming fee change will have a negative impact on business. We've been cultured from when we were small that America is a land of milk and honey. A lot of people want to go to the US, and a lot of people will do it regardless of what the cost is, said Mattis. Compared to other embassies, the US embassy has quite affordable fees when you look at what you get for what you pay. For example, you're paying US $185 for a 10-year visa as opposed to the United Kingdom, where you pay like US $1,000 for the 10-year visa, and then you have other embassies that don't even issue the 10-year visa but still have similar fees, she explained. Samuels said he has also seen an uptick in US visa inquiries since the pending fee change was announced. He added that he doesn't believe that the increased cost will deter Jamaicans from seeking a United States visa. Over 4,000 tickets issued to litterbugs in 2024, says a survey. A total of 4,397 anti-litter tickets were issued last year under the National Solid Waste Management Act as part of the compliance and enforcement activities of the National Solid Waste Management Authority. The enforcement activities also saw a total of 9,920 removal notices being served and 2,474 surveillance operations conducted to apprehend the persons in breach of the provisions of the relevant legislation. The information is contained in the 2024 edition of the Economic and the Social Survey Jamaica, a publication of the Planning Institute of Jamaica. According to the survey, the total volume of solid waste collected utilizing formal systems increased by 11.8% to 1.2 million tons, with all waste sheds, exception southern parks and markets, recording an increase. The ESSJ said that throughout the year, public education initiatives to promote solid waste management best practices continued under the theme Keep Jamaica Clean, Bag It, Bin It, Recycle It. The initiatives included extensive solid waste management sensitization and recycling exercises in 60 schools across the island, and the installation of static and digital billboards in highly trafficked areas in Kingston, St. Catherine, Manchester, Falmouth, and St. James, it said. Other public awareness initiatives included the sensitization of 6,686 commercial business owners and 27,219 residents on the proper containerization and disposal of solid waste. Through the ongoing Drum the Gate initiative, 94 drums were distributed to residential customers to ensure containerization of waste. While under the Northern and Eastern St. Andrew Belt and the Plastic Waste Separation Initiatives, 41,731 kg of plastic waste were diverted from the island's waste streams. In addition, 14,100 end-of-life pneumatic tires were removed from the Riverton disposal site, the survey said. Meanwhile, the monitoring capacity of the NSWMA was strengthened with the training of 320 environmental wardens from 8 communities. The wardens, in addition to being gazetted as authorized officers under the National Solid Waste Management Act, are certified by the Heart NSTA Trust as public area cleaning officers. In the meantime, the disaster responsiveness of the sector was bolstered through the training of 1,605 employees, installation of a drone, and the acquisition of base high-frequency radios to facilitate the coordination of disaster risk management actions across the island when communication utilities are down. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.